Have I ever hid anything? And if so, why? Okay, I understand the question. The question comes from people with dementia hiding things. But I have to say, unless I've had dementia for a very long time, um, my hiding has nothing to do with it. The problem now is I hide things and don't remember where I hid them. So I keep a lot of things out in the open. But no, I've always hidden things. I hide, well, I used to when I had it. I used to hide cash in the house. I hide weapons. I hide important things that are important to me that wouldn't necessarily be worth anything. But if somebody broke in the house and might move a snake in and taken it, like for example, my granny's pearls. I don't know if they're real or fake, but it doesn't matter because they're my granny's pearls. And I wouldn't want somebody to break in and go, oh, pearls, and then take them, and then I've lost them. So, yes, I do hide things. I also hid some deodorant for stocking stuffers for my teenagers because and I can't find it. I don't know where it's at because I hid it. So instead of hiding Christmas presents, they're all over here, right beside me, right beside my bed. And I just left them in the box so they can't see what's in the box. And thankfully right now we are finally at the point for the first year ever that we have the truth out. The truth is out. And so the need to hide isn't as bad as it used to be as far as Christmas goes. But yeah, I hide things. I've had to stop hiding things because I can't find them unless I'm hiding them and don't realize I'm hiding them. And that's the first time that's come to my thought. I wonder if I'm hiding things from myself and not realizing it, like putting them in weird places and can't find them because they're not where they're supposed to be. I don't know. That's a good maybe I'm doing it right now and don't even realize it. Come to think of it, because things keep disappearing and it doesn't make any sense why they disappear. It's not like something the boys would want. I'm trying to think of an example, but can't think of one right now. Remember something. How does it feel exactly to not remember something? It feels like a conspiracy of people that are trying to convince you that something happened that never happened. It feels like everybody got together and said, hey, let's go tell her we did this and try to see what she does. And then, hey, do you remember? And I don't have any memory of it at all. I mean, it's like it never happened. It was a blackboard that took an eraser and just completely erased it out of my mind. And it's awful because there are things that the boys ask me that I know that I know the answer to, and it's not there. I don't know. And I think they're starting to think that I'm to the point where I don't want to answer the questions anymore, but the truth is I don't remember. And it is like there's little erasers and they're erasing my knowledge of things. And it is frightening. It's frightening because I know they're telling the truth. It's frightening because it is so not there. I don't care how hard I try to remember, it is not there anymore. It's gone. It's completely gone. And the more they try to get me to remember, the harder I try, the more it's not there, and the more frustrated I get, the more frustrated they get. And it's just, it's probably one of the hardest things, because some of the stuff is stuff that that I love, like music history. I love music history. And my oldest is really getting into that stuff, and he'll tell me stuff, and it's like the first time I ever heard it, and I know that stuff. Every once in a while he's wrong, and I know I'm right, but on other things, but there are other times it's just like, really? Really? I paid all that money for a college education, and, that's one of those things when you graduate from college, well, they can't ever take that away from you. Well, guess what? It's being taken away from me. Always get your education, because that's one thing they can't take away from you. Well, that's true. They can't repossess my education, but it is. Bye-bye. Do I have delusions or suspicions that aren't true, and what's it like? No, I don't have those yet. I haven't gotten to that point. I don't have delusions, or I don't think I do. And I'm not sure really, though, what a difference between a delusion and hallucination is. I guess I should look those up. I told the story about my neighbors in my dream. That it was probably the closest thing to a delusion I've had, because I believed it to be true, even though I knew it wasn't true. My emotions wouldn't give up on it until I saw them and talked to them. And but suspicious, I haven't been suspicious of anybody. That delusion was very unsettling. That and the TV show where I thought the Capitol building exploded. But I've only been suspicious once that I really know that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, no. If I'm not wrong, it's the first time and the only time that this has ever happened with this person. And so I don't really, and I don't want to go into it because I so don't want to believe it. And I want to believe that I just don't have the memory. Because when I contacted the person and asked them specifically about it, they talked about what we did and gave details. So I'm guessing that it's just another one of those things that I did and don't remember doing. And then when I went back to get it, it was over money I hid. And and this person knew where the money was. And they say I put it in the bank. I don't remember putting it in the bank. I have no memory of it at all. It was all changed, and so I don't know if they're covering for somebody else because there were some people, other people staying here, or if I did take it to the bank and just don't remember it. But at any rate, I have decided that it doesn't matter because the relationship with this person is much more important than the money. If the money was taken by either this person or somebody else that was here, they were in desperate need of it. And I would have given it to them if they had asked for it. Anyway, I'd feel better if they had asked, but so I'm not going to cry over spilt milk, and I'm not going to hold it against them. I'm going to forgive and I'm going to forget, and that's the only example I can think of that I had a suspicion, and very rarely does I ever even think about it except when I'm asked this question. What was my first sign? Very first sign of the mild cognitive impairment was forgetting the TV shows, like Terranova. I may not be saying that right, but I think I am. That was the very first thing I remembered that I noticed that I didn't remember TV shows, and that was way back. Worst episode I ever had. Worst episode I ever had was on May 7th, May 7th, 2013, when I was at school and was told to go sit down and ended up in the hospital. After that, had to relearn how to walk and talk and do everything again. Took me 3 months to figure out how to use the computer to do my videos, because I'd done videos before for my books, and for myself I'd done the videos, and then I'd go back over the videos when I was writing the books to remember stories to put in the books. And so I was in a habit of recording myself, and I had forgotten how to do that. And it took 3 months to get to the point where I could remember how to work the computer. That was the worst. And the thing was, I got out of the hospital the night before my son's birthday, 9th birthday, oldest one. And I had to take him out to eat. A friend had her son drive us because they didn't want me driving. I barely remember it. Kids spent the night. It was such a struggle because we got that birthday taken care of, and I literally I was waiting for calls for PT, OT, and speech, and they didn't come. I had to finally make some calls, but I could not. I was left alone during the day. A friend would come over in the evening and help with the kids, but I was left alone during the day, and I could not take care of myself. I couldn't bathe. And so I called a friend of mine that used to be a school nurse and told her that I had a stroke and that I needed to bathe, and could she come over and help me bathe? And so she did, and that was my first bath I got, and it was like a week after I got out of the hospital. And I don't know why it didn't occur to anybody that I needed help. I really don't. And I wasn't in any condition to do it myself. And I guess that might be one of my fears too, is that was my example. Nobody knew. I didn't eat, I didn't drink, I didn't do nothing. I didn't, barely got myself to the bathroom. And, I couldn't bathe myself. I couldn't fix a meal. And nobody ever thought about getting somebody in. Comments were made. I have visions that you just sit here all day long and don't eat or anything if nobody's here. And I would say yes, but nobody was ever, nobody ever made an effort to get somebody in here. So I've kind of, I guess you could add that to the fears. That's why I want that safety net, because my goodness, if I'm talking with marbles in my mouth, and I got Adele in here because I put an ad on care.com, and she answered it and came over and saw immediately how bad I was, and she stayed and waited for the boys to get home and meet the boys, and then she started the next day because she had enough sense to see what bad shape I was in and how I really needed some help. And she did. I don't think she realized what a lifesaver she was, but I think she saved this family, and I thank her for that immensely. because she didn't even know me and came in and could see it. And why people that knew me couldn't see it, I don't know. That was my worst episode. Do you ever feel in denial of the diagnosis is wrong? Yes. Yes. When I'm having a really good day, those doctors don't know anything. There's nothing wrong with me. As time goes by, those days are fewer and fewer. I have less denial. I have more, because I notice more. But at the same time, I'm not as bad as I could be or am going to be. So I'm just appreciating the fact that right now it's not an issue. As far as, I can still do my hygiene, though I'm kind of bad at it. But I can do my own. I can take myself to the bathroom. I can brush my own teeth. I can get kids ready. I can still do a lot of things, and a lot of things haven't started yet, and I don't know what to fully expect with my diagnosis, because each dementia is different. No two are alike, so I don't know what's going to happen with mine. I suspect I'm going to have delusions, just because I've had a couple of those, with the TV show and the neighbors. I'm afraid that's probably what direction I will go, in that reality will slip away. And that's kind of freaky or scary. Do I ever fear that I'll forget how to use the internet and make videos? Yes. Yes. I do have fears that I will forget how to use the computer and make videos. When I made the video when I had the problem at the grocery store, that was one of the things that I mentioned in there, is that if this is a sign of the way it's going to be, I don't know how I'll know how to edit or upload videos. But my desire, my hope, is that the boys know I have this YouTube channel. One is anti-YouTube. The other one thinks YouTube's old-fashioned, but that doesn't matter. But I'm hoping by that time comes that I can't do the videos, that one of the three will take over the videos. And I'm pretty sure I know which one's going to be. And because he likes to do it, and he loves to be in the videos with me, and he is not shy about it. And so I think it'll probably end up being him. So I'm hoping that one of my boys will take over the channel and continue to broadcast till the end, and continue to put up the videos, so that this journey goes from beginning to end. Because what a drag would it be if the journey just went part way and then stopped, So as it gets hard, if it starts getting harder, it's not hard right now, but if it starts getting harder, then I'm going to train one of them to do it, and show them how to edit, and show them how to upload, and give them permission to do the videotaping and things like that. So hopefully I may do that with all three, and then one of them, whoever's handy at the time, can do it, and we can keep this going. And the last question is, what keeps me encouraged? That's a hard question today because I wasn't very encouraged today. Um, what keeps me encouraged is when friends make an effort to see me or talk to me or come visit. What keeps me encouraged is getting out and seeing people and visiting people, um, and just having a regular conversation with them. Um, what keeps me encouraged is the boys. Um, I um, I stay encouraged because I continue to go to their ball games and go to their concerts and go to their programs and go to their things, and I still have a connection with the community, and that helps. And um, so tonight, like, I ran into a couple people that one that I knew 30 years ago that I now see a lot of, and then another one I knew, and she made a comment to me and wanted to know how I was doing, and I said pretty good. She knows the whole thing, and I said I'm doing pretty good, and then we changed the subject. Oh, and she works at the school, and I made a comment about one of my kids, and she kind of was surprised, and she said, "Well, I'm not really surprised because that's going around." And I said what he'd done, and then I said what I had done because I had tried taking away privileges. I've tried all kinds of stuff, and it just wasn't stopping. And it was just inappropriate things that prepubescent boys do, and I'm trying to teach them not to say things or do things in mixed company, and I keep trying to remind them that I am mixed company. I may be mom, but I'm still a female. And this kid just couldn't get it. And so I told her what I'd said to him, and her eyes got real big, and I said, oh, he didn't like it either. He said, that's awful, and then ran out of the room and hid in his bedroom. But I have to say that we've had no more of the inappropriate talk in front of mom, anyway, since that. So I think I just had to shock him out of it. I don't know. So I hope that works. But I guess when I have a success in parenting, I feel encouraged. I still pull that off. I am going to go have breakfast with a friend tomorrow. That's encouraging. I just have to allow myself to get out there and feel the love and realize that my true friends are not shunning me. My fake friends are shunning me, and that's okay because, separates the men from the boys, so to speak. And so I know who I can count on and who I can't, and so I keep that in mind when push comes to shove, and when I need something, I know who I can count on and who I can't, who I can call and who I can't. And so with that being said, I guess that and my faith keeps me encouraged. But as you know, there are many days that I have a hard time staying encouraged. But I'm doing my best to stay happy because those boys deserve a happy life. Those boys deserve laughter in the home. They deserve to have fun. They deserve everything I can give them. They are great kids. They make excellent grades. All three of them are either straight A's or A's and B students. I got two with perfect attendance. It's just, they're just phenomenal. And so they're, for the most part, they're well behaved, at least in public or for other people. And so I couldn't ask for better kids. And so they don't deserve this heaviness, and they've already lost a parent, and they don't need to lose another one. And so I am bound and determined to fight this until they are grown, because it's not fair to them to lose any more. They've had a lot of loss in their life, and they don't need any more. They have been so stable since 2000 and late, let's see, about mid 2011. You know, all the craziness kind of came to an end. And they got, you know, had a stable life. They knew they were loved. They were safe. And they just flourished. And they're still flourishing. And they're still doing great. So that encourages me, because it tells me that they are not dwelling on what's going on with me. They're not frantic about it. They're not worried about it. Because like I said before, I look like a rock star compared to what I was 5 years ago. And so in their eyes, I am doing better than I've ever done in the last 5 years. And so I think they're actually at more of a calm now than they've been for a very long time about me. And so I find that encouraging, because as long as they can keep their grades up, and their biggest worry is whether or not the girlfriend's mad at them or not, or if the teacher's being fair on a spelling test, or if we're going to get nuked by North Korea. Of course, that's pretty big worry. Though he did find a bunch of North Korea jokes that seems to make them feel better. But none of those things are about me. And so they're mostly normal fears. The North Korea one's not a normal fear, but like I said in an earlier video, I lived through the Cold War. I had the exact same fears. I get it. I understand it. And you just, you know, my whole generation was like that. You know, all of us were like that in two countries, in Russia and in the U.S. And we grew up like that our entire lives. And so I guess, you know, maybe I'm, you know, full of it, but I think it's okay for him to be worried about it. I think it's not okay if he starts losing sleep over it. I don't think it's okay if he starts getting sick over it, but he's not. He's giggling and eating like there's no tomorrow, and he's sleeping well. He's doing well in school. So that's one of those things that you have to learn how to deal with on your own, how to accept it in your own mind, so that you can go on. My way, I was always sure, I had no doubt that we were going to get nuked. But I always got good grades just in case we didn't. I graduated high school just in case we didn't. I went to college just in case we didn't. I got a job just in case we didn't. And then my fifth year of teaching, or fourth year of teaching, can't remember. So I've been about 26 years old. I was standing in the front hallway of our school, on high school where I taught at, outside the library, and we got news that the wall in East Berlin was coming down, and that was the first time in my entire life that I had a sense of calm, that I thought everything was going to be okay, and I did not worry about getting nuked. And so from the time I can remember till I was 26 years old, that was just part of my life. And unfortunately, it's the same for this generation. And two of them don't seem to care or be too worried about it, and the other one is worried about it. So I think that that's just the way it's going to be. It's he will learn to deal with it in time and learn to live life to the fullest, I think, that way. So with that, I'm going to leave you. And once again, I thank you for watching. Live life to the fullest and live life with no regrets. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.